6 ways to master communication. Why should you listen to me? I used to be awkward. I used to get bullied because I was too skinny. I used to didn't have that many friends. And because of that, I used to be like very lonely and I couldn't communicate. I couldn't make friends. I couldn't talk to girls. I couldn't talk to anyone. And because of that, I used to stay at home all the time. And I was like 14 or 15 years old at this time. And around 5 years, fast forward 5 years, now I'm in university. And as you can see here, I have done several public speaking in my university, and I've done several presentations in my class. As you can see here, I present something about compliments, and for this picture, I actually I actually present this book in my class. As you can see there, like I present the book "How to Influence and Influence People" by Dale Carnegie in my class. So I feel proud of myself, and I've come a long way. Now I've been able to communicate. Now I have several friends that I talk to, and now I'm not lonely anymore, and I feel great about myself. So my promise to you in this video is that I will teach you how to communicate with everyone, because like communication is a very important skill nowadays, and it's not easy. You think, oh, communication, oh, it's easy, you just talk. It's more than that. If you're able to communicate well with people, you will be able to talk to everyone. You will be able to talk to every type of people in this world, because there are people who are more straightforward. There are introverts, there are extroverts, there are so many different personalities that people have. And if you can communicate with all of those types of people, you will win. You will win in this world. So, quick introduction. My name is Eric, and I teach what I have just learned. I hope this video helps you, and subscribe right now to get notified when I upload more videos like this one. So, most of the tips that I will teach, most of the principles that I will teach in this video will be taken from this book, How to Influence and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book has changed my life, and I hope it will change yours too. And you can find this book in your bookstores or in online. So in the third part of the book, it says win people to your way of thinking. So the third part of this book talks about how you can win people to your opinion, to your way of thinking, how to make people more receptive to your opinions and beliefs without creating arguments and resentments along the way. So principle 1, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Let me tell you a story. I'm in my home and my mom told me, this was like a few years ago, a few months ago. My mom told me, oh, PTU, you didn't have any friends. Oh, PTU, you don't have any friends. Stop telling that, mom. I told her that. Stop saying that, mom. Like that's not good. That's not a great way. That's not a great way of saying it. Because I don't like being in a self-pity party. Like I love to solve the problems. And I know I used to don't have that many friends, right? My mom said to me, "Oh, PTU, you don't have many friends." I told her, "Oh, don't say that, mom. It's not great to say that. Like, I will try to find a solution." And then my mom told me, "Oh, okay. Like, don't take it too seriously. Don't take it too seriously. Like, you're." And my mom thought that I was being disrespectful to her because I was saying it in a in a disrespectful tone. Like I said in a nice way, but my mom, because my mom is a feminine woman, she takes it the wrong way. She thought that I'm disrespectful. She thought that I was saying it in a bad tone, and I was like, oh, I was saying it in a nice tone. And then my father, was like next to her and saying, "Oh, yeah, you should say it in a nicer tone," and then we argue about a certain tone. I told her, "Oh, don't say that, mom. In a nice tone, not in a disrespectful tone." I say it in a nice way, and they perceive it as disrespectful. They perceive it as offensive, and then we argue. And do you think our relationship after that gets better? Do you think our relationship gets better after that argument? No, because I thought, no, I'm right. Like, I didn't think that I'm wrong. Like, I said in a nice way. They are wrong. And they thought, oh, I am wrong. I'm disrespectful. So no one wins in the argument. So let me ask you a question. What should you do when you disagree with the person you're talking to? Let's say you're talking to a friend or a coworker or even your boss. When you disagree with the other person, what do you do? What should you do? The first option is prove him or her that they are wrong, or B, agree with them. And most of the times, the answer will be agree with them. Why? Why should we? Why should we agree with the person that we're talking to, even though even though we disagree with them? Like, if even though we disagree with the other person, why should we agree with them? The reason is because argument is a lose-lose situation, and it's like, do you like when someone tells you that you're wrong? Like, let's say you disagree with your friend, and then you tell your friend, "Oh, it's actually like this. Oh, your opinion is like this." Or let's say, yeah, Brian and let's say we have Brian and John. Brian thinks Kobe Bryant is the greatest basketball player of all time, but John thinks Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. And let's say they're having a conversation and they eventually talk about basketball. And Brian says, "Oh, what do you think about, whoa, who's the greatest basketball player of all time, according to you, John?" And John says, "Michael Jordan." And then Brian says, "Oh, for me, it's Kobe Bryant." And then John says, "Oh, why do you think so?" It's because of this. Oh, actually, actually, Michael Jordan is better. No, Kobe Bryant is better. And what happens? They argue about who they argue about who's the greatest basketball player of all time. I mean, there are so many players that there are: Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Stephen Curry, Jerry West, Chamberlain, Jabbar. Like, there's so many basketball players, right? And it's the same with arguing, oh, who's better, Messi or Ronaldo? It's the same. Like, if you argue with a friend that has a different opinion or a different perspective, are you going to have a great relationship or friendship with them afterwards? No, you will argue and you will hate each other afterwards. Brian will walk away and thinks, yeah, Kobe Bryant is better. But John walks away thinking, oh yeah, Michael Jordan is better. Like, what is Brian thinking? At the end of the argument, no one wins. And at the end of the argument, the other person will think that he's absolutely right. And they will not change their mind. Every time you argue with your parents, every time you argue with your friends, like, do you get to your end goal at that point? Like, do you make them agree with you? No, they still disagree. They still don't change their minds. Argument is a lose-lose situation. Like, no matter how nice you argue, no matter how hard you try to understand the other person, if you argue, you will not be able to change the other person's mind and beliefs and opinions. Imagine trying to make let me hear, like, listen to this. Imagine trying to make a Ronaldo fan believe that Messi is better than Ronaldo. And also imagine trying to make a Messi fan imagine trying to make a Messi fan believe that Ronaldo is better than Messi. Like, it's impossible, because their beliefs is already planted in their mind. Okay, Messi is better. Messi is better. If no matter how hard you try to make them think that Ronaldo is better, you will not make them think that Ronaldo is better. You will argue. You will fight. How many times like they argue about like who's the greatest football player, the greatest basketball player, or the smartest person in the class? No one wins. Both person leaves with more resentment, more anger, and the relationship gets worse. So argument is a lose-lose situation. And every time I go to a bookstore, I always see so many books talking about how to argue. Like argument is a lose-lose situation, and you will find so many books about how to win an argument. Yeah, anyways. Every time you have a different opinion than someone, like I have covered this in the previous video, in the previous video. So if you want to check that out, you can also watch the video. And every time you disagree with someone, ask yourself, is there any possibility that their different way of thinking leads to the same goal? Maybe you have a different opinion than someone, but it leads to the same goal, right? Is there any possibility that their way of thinking is better than mine? Is there any possibility that they are right and I am wrong? That's a difficult one. That's a hard one. Is there any possibility that my friend is right and I am wrong? Or maybe neither of you are wrong because your friend's way of thinking can also work. Your way of thinking can also work. Principle 2, show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say you're wrong. Let me ask you a question. Do you like when someone tells you that you're wrong? Let's say you're in school and you're doing a task. Your teachers give you a mathematics task. Okay, students, do 10 numbers and we will check the answers 1 hour from now. And then 1 hour goes by, and then you check your answers with your friends. Oh, I got 90. Like, what did you got? Oh, I got 92. Let's say you get 92 and your friend gets 90. Even though your friend doesn't tell you that you're wrong, the fact that he tells you, oh, the answer is 92. Oh, I got 90. Even though your friend doesn't tell you that you're wrong, even though you don't tell your friend is wrong, your first initial reaction is that, oh, 90 is the answer. Oh, 92 is the answer. You indirectly says to the other person that he or she is wrong. Do you like it when someone tells you that you're wrong? No, right? When somebody tells you that you're wrong, oh, this way is better. Oh, you're wrong. This way of thinking is better. Oh, your answer is wrong. Oh, the answer is this. Nobody likes to be told that they're wrong. When someone tells you that you're wrong, you automatically become defensive. No, I'm right. No. You are wrong, and you start arguing, right? Nobody likes to be told that they're wrong. Every time your parents tell you that you're wrong, what happens? You fight back. You argue. And what happens after the argument? Your relationship with your parents gets worse. No wonder so many children have a terrible relationship with their parents because they argue all the time. And when the children have problems, guess where they go to? They either go to social media or they go to their friends to talk to, not their parents. How sad is that? It is so sad. Never try to prove people that they are wrong. Let's say you're a Messi fan. Don't try to convince a Ronaldo fan that Messi is better than Ronaldo. He or she will not change their mind. The same with a Kobe Bryant fan. Don't try to convince. Don't try to make the Kobe Bryant Don't try to convince the Kobe Bryant fan to believe that Michael Jordan is better. Like he or she will not change their mind. It is difficult to change people's opinions and make them agree with you. Do you think a 10-year Kobe Bryant fan will like suddenly change his or her mind in 1 minute just because you successfully convince them that Michael Jordan or LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. It is almost impossible, to be honest. Like I have a friend and we have like a different opinion. It doesn't work, right? Or let's say your friend has a different answer. Let's say your friend got the answer 92 and you got 90. Instead of trying to prove your friend that he or she is wrong, and instead of arguing, just say to them, like, oh, I have a different answer. Therefore, let's just wait for the teacher to discuss the answer and we will figure it out the right answer. Like, just say to your friend, oh, yeah, I have a different answer. Let's just wait for the teacher to discuss the answer to know which one is the correct answer. That is way better than trying to convince your friend, no, my answer is right. No, you're wrong, right? Like, especially in elementary school, we have that a lot and we fight about the stupidest things in the world. This is one of the response that you can give when you have a different opinion than someone. Every time you have a different opinion, every time you have a different opinion than someone, every time you think that the other person is wrong, even though you know you're right, even though you know the other person is wrong, even though you have a different opinion, say this to the other person. Well, now look, I thought otherwise, but I may be wrong. I frequently am. And if I'm wrong, I want to be put right. Let's examine the facts. Yes, this sentence might be too complicated, but the simple meaning is that, well, now look, I have a different opinion and I might be wrong. And I am wrong most of the times. And if I'm wrong, teach me something, correct me. Let's examine the facts. That's the simple meaning. It's like, okay, let's say for example, I'm a Messi fan and my friend is a Ronaldo fan. I can say, oh, I respect your opinion that Ronaldo is better than Messi. I'm a Messi fan and I might be wrong. Maybe Ronaldo is better than Messi. And if I'm wrong, like you can teach me something. Let's examine the data and the statistics. That is, you will have a better conversation than, oh, Messi is better. No, Ronaldo is better. No, Michael Jordan is better. No, Kobe Bryant is better. Right? Especially the beef in the internet. It's ridiculous. People trying, and don't try to argue in social media. It's the worst way to argue. Okay? I'm not going to get into that. When you talk to people, do you tend to just understand them? I've talked about this in the previous video. I always use the Messi and Ronaldo analogy because I'm a football fan and I think most people know about Messi and Ronaldo. And they always argue which one is better, which one is better. Or like basketball, or like in sports generally, they always argue about the two or three of the greatest players. Oh, who's better? Who's better? And at first they discuss with like kindness and understanding, but with time they start to argue. They start to argue more and more and more, and then they fight. Boom. When you talk to people, do you tend to judge or understand them? The next time, let's say you are a Ronaldo fan, the next time you meet a Messi fan, think to yourself, why does this person thinks that Messi is better than Ronaldo? Oh, maybe it's because of X. Maybe because of Y. Or maybe it's because of Z. Or maybe because they watch more Messi content in their social media, and I watch more Ronaldo content in my social media. Maybe because it's the algorithm that sends us those videos. Or let's say you want to work on a project. Maybe your friend has a different way of doing it. It might be better, it might be worse, but try to understand the other person. Why do they think like that? Why do they do what they do? Let's say, like, I have several friends in my university that are not that confident. They stutter. They are not really confident in public speaking and doing a presentation in front of class. I mean, some people are terrified of public speaking because so many people are watching them in front of the stage, right? And I'm pretty confident now doing public speaking. I can do public speaking well. And I have several friends, they're not confident, they're insecure. And when they do public speaking, they stutter, they stand in one place, they don't make eye contact. Even in this presentation, sometimes I don't do eye contact, right? I only do eye contact just now. They don't, my friends don't do eye contact. Instead, they look at their phone, reading the script instead of like engaging and connecting with the audience with maintaining eye contact. At first, at first I judged them. Oh, they're insecure. Oh, they're not confident. Oh, I'm better than them. Oh, look at them. They stutter. Oh, yes, I'm better than them. Oh, yeah, look at them. They look at their phone instead of the audience. But after I read this book, my mindset changed. Every time my friend present in front of the class, now my mindset changed. The thoughts that I get will not those thoughts anymore. Now I'm thinking, oh, they stutter. Oh, why do they stutter in front of the class? Oh, maybe because they have a childhood trauma that they haven't solved. Maybe their parents shouted at them, or an authority figure shut them down in their childhood. Therefore, they are scared talking to an audience or an authority figure because in the past, an authority figure like disrespect them and shut them down. Or let's say they cannot speak that well. Why can't they speak that well? Like, why do they stutter? Oh, maybe their first language is not English. Maybe English is their second language. Oh, like when you start to understand them and start to ask yourself, oh, why do they do what they do? Why do they think what they think? Why do they stutter? Why do they think like that? Why do they think that way? When I started to understand them, I'm happier. I judge less. And I just become a friendlier and a nicer person. When you judge, you become more negative. You become a negative person. If you're wrong, principle 3, if you are wrong, admit it quickly and empathically. I want you to imagine this. I'm pretty sure that you have been wrong so many times in your life. Maybe you forget to close the fridge and the fridge is open the whole night and you ruin the whole food or the vegetables, or you forget to lock the door, or you forget to do this thing, or you do this wrong thing. Essentially, in conclusion, you have been wrong so many times in your life. And what do you do most of the times? When you're wrong, what do you do most of the times? Most of the times, when you are wrong, and even though you know that you are wrong, you know it. Even though you know that you're wrong, what do? You blame other people. Why? Because nobody likes to be told that they are wrong, including me, including you, including your parents, including your friends, including your boss. Imagine trying to tell your boss that he or she is wrong. You get fired right after that. Imagine trying to tell your parents that they are wrong. You will get slapped after that. Imagine trying to tell your professor or your lecturer that he or she is wrong. You will get the lowest grade in your class afterwards, right? So it doesn't go well. So when you're wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. What do I mean by beat yourself up? Because most of the times when we fail, most of the times when we fail at something, when we have just failed at something, we beat ourselves up. And what does the internet say to us? Oh, don't beat yourself up. Love yourself first. It's not that bad. Don't be too hard on yourself. I'm telling you, when you are wrong, beat yourself up. What do I mean by this? Let's say you're driving in a car on the road. Let's say you get caught by the policeman because you are going too fast, or you go into a lane. Let's say you go straight on the lane that is supposed to go right, or you go to the right direction even though the lane is supposed to go straight, and you get caught by the policeman. What do most people do when they get caught by the policeman? They fight back. They want they want to prove that they are not wrong and the policeman is wrong. Oh, I'm not right, sir. You are wrong. I'm not doing anything wrong. Like, what do I do wrong? You're wrong. Have you ever tried to argue with a policeman? It will not go well. Don't argue. No. Never argue with an authority figure. I don't care whether it's your friends, your parents, your lecturers, your coworkers, your boss, the policeman. Never argue with these types of people, especially if they are superior than you, because they can get rid of you when you make them dislike you. Have you ever tried to argue with a policeman? How does it how does it go? It always ends terrible. The policeman always gives you additional punishment because you argue with them. If you argue with a policeman, you will make things worse, right? So let's say for example, you get caught by the policeman. Instead of trying to prove the policeman that you are right and the policeman is wrong, which is going to make things worse, beat yourself up. Say to the policeman, "Oh yeah, yeah, sir. Like, what did I do wrong?" Ask the policeman first. What did I do wrong? Oh, you did this. Instead of trying to defend yourself and trying to prove the policeman is wrong, beat yourself up. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Policeman. I'm sorry. I apologize. I really making you uncomfortable. I really bother you. I I must be so annoying to you. I'm sorry. Or I must make things very difficult for you. I'm sorry. I must be the most difficult person that you ever talked to today. I'm sorry that I did this thing. I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry. When you beat yourself up in that way, most likely the policeman will say, "Oh no, your mistake is not that bad. Oh your mistake is not that big. Your mistake is not that bad. No, it's okay. I was actually trying to do this to you, and it's okay." Like the policeman will actually trying to make you feel better, right? Or let's say you do a homework. Let's say your teacher gives you mathematics homework. You submit the homework and the teacher calls you one by one, and then you get called, and then you walk up to the teacher and the teacher says, you answered it wrong on number 12. Instead of trying to argue with your teacher, "No, my answer is right. No, how can it be that it's wrong?" Instead of trying to do that, you can tell the teacher, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Oh yeah. I'm so stupid. I must be very, very stupid to get the number 12 wrong. Oh, what should I do?" Like the teacher will be like, "Oh no, it's okay. It's like we learn every day. It's okay. Your mistake is not that bad." When you're wrong, beat yourself up, and the other person will minimize your mistakes. The other person will try to make you feel better and tell you that your mistake is not that big of a deal. Say about yourself all the derogatory things you know. I don't know how to say the word derogatory. Say about yourself all the derogatory things you know the other person is thinking or wants to say or intends to say, and say them before that person has a chance to say them. The chances are 100 to 1 that a generous, forgiving attitude will be taken and your mistakes will be minimized. When you're wrong, just tell the other person all of the bad things that the other person is thinking or wants to say or intends to say, and say them before that person has a chance to say them. the chances are the other person will forgive you, try to make you feel better, and tell you that it's not a big of a deal, right? Any fool can try to defend his or her mistakes. Anyone can try to defend themselves, and most fools do. But it raises one above the herd and gives one a feeling of nobility and exaltation to admit one's mistakes. Anyone can defend themselves, but it takes courage to beat yourself up to minimize your mistakes. Principle 4, begin in a friendly way. I'm not going to get into a long discussion about this one because this is a short one. Essentially, just be a nice, friendly person. Fake a smile, and you will be happier and you will be friendlier. Be a nice, friendly person. The next time you want to make someone to do something for you, think to yourself, how can I make this person want to do it? Begin with honest praise and appreciation. Talk about what they want, not on what you want. Just be a nice, friendly person. Trying to understand the other person. Just do these simple things and people will love you. Even though you're not the smartest person in the room, even though you don't know some things, people will love you because you have a great attitude. You know those people that are very smart. You probably know some of your friends. They are very smart, but they are arrogant as fuck. Right? But you know some people, they're not that smart, but they're humble, they're friendly, they're nice, they're understanding, and you love that people, those kinds of people. And I used to be the guy that thinks, oh, I'm better than everyone else. I was so arrogant. And that makes me unlikable. I become unlikable. And I just become annoying because people can tell from my body language. And I was like, if you want people to like you, you cannot act like this, right? You're not better than everyone else. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses. Principle 5, get the other person saying yes, yes, immediately. I want you to picture this. Let's say you're 25, 30 years old, you're making money, you're rich, you want to buy a nice car, whatever car you want. You go to the car you go to a car dealership, you want to buy a car, and you say to the receptionist, I want to look at this car. Okay, let me get a salesperson for you. And then you wait, and a salesperson comes to you. Hi sir, hi ma'am, how may I help you? And then you tell your specifications, you tell the car that you want, and then you start discussing on, okay, which car do you want? Okay, the price, the features, the types of engine, the acceleration, how many seconds does it take from 0 to 60 kilometers per hour or miles. You start talking about these things. What do I mean by get the other person say yes, yes immediately? What do I mean by this? What I mean is that, let's say you're the salesperson, let's say you're the customer. You will be more likely to buy the car from a salesperson that asks you questions that he or she knows that you would say yes to. If the salesperson is able to ask questions that they know you will answer yes to, you will be more likely to buy the car. Because let's say you go to the dealership with your wife and kids. The salesperson will think, oh, he's a family person. Oh, he has a family. Oh, I think I will need to direct him to a bigger car for his family. But if he just go there by himself, he might think, oh, it's probably just a car for himself. I'm probably gonna direct him to a smaller car. And let's say you go there with your family. The salesperson will direct you to a bigger car because he or she thinks, oh, you have a family, like bigger car. Makes sense, right? If the salesperson directs you to a small car, you will be unlikely to buy the car from the salesperson because you might think, oh, the cars are too small for my family. I will not buy from you. Like the chances of you buying the car goes lower by 10%. So the next time, so like the salesperson will do a great job of looking at you and be like, oh, he's a family person. Okay, bigger car. Okay, you like, okay, you're very straightforward. Okay, I will be straightforward as well with you. Oh, you are, let's say you're, let's say you like automatic instead of manual car. He will direct you to an automatic car. If he directs you to a manual car, like you will think, oh, what is this car? What is this guy thinking? Or let's say you want to buy a gym membership. The salesperson has to know, oh, like, do you want to like lose weight or like gain muscle or bulk or cut? And the salesperson will do a great job if he or she asks a question that you have to say yes to. Oh, do you need the Zumba class? Because you want to lose fat, and Zumba class is one of the ways to lose fat. And the salesperson knows that you will say yes because you want to lose fat. And you will say yes. Oh, do you also need this? You also need this. He or she will ask the questions that he or she knows that you will have to say and that you will have to answer yes to. And when you say yes 5 times, you will be more likely to buy that gym membership. It's a it's like a loop, psychological things, right? Ask questions that you know the other person will say yes to. Ask questions that you know the other person would have to agree. Let's say, yeah, let's say you go to a coffee shop. No, no, no. You can actually try this. You can actually try this. The next time you go to a coffee shop and you buy a cup of coffee, try to ask the barista or the receptionist or the cashier person. Just say to them, let me ask you a question. Why should I buy this coffee from you? And if they're good at sales, they will say, oh, you should buy coffee from us because our coffee uses these types of beans from this country. And most coffee shops don't use these beans. And little did they know that these coffee beans are da 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 da. We also use our special milk, and we make our own milk. It is a whole milk made of da 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 da. And we also use high-end machines, and we also use great ingredients that consist of da 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 that differentiates us from most coffee shops. That's why you should buy coffee from us. If they're good at sales, they will answer like that, like something along the lines of like that. And you will think, oh, makes sense. And then you feel good about buying the coffee. Or let's say you ask the same question. Why should I buy this coffee from you? If that person has a good sales tactic, he or she will say, you have to buy coffee from us because you will feel happier after you buy coffee from us because it makes you happier. It increases your dopamine. Secondly, if you buy coffee from us, you will be able to focus more on your work. Is it correct? Yes. If you buy coffee from us, you will be happier. Is that correct? Yes. The cashier person has made me answer yes twice. And what does it mean? I will feel better about buying the coffee because, oh, I buy the coffee because I will feel happier and I will be more able to focus on my work. You say yes twice, right? I know this will sound a little bit complicated, but you know what I mean. I know my brain is a little bit chaotic at this moment, but I think you can already get the point. If you don't get the point, you can rewind a couple of minutes backwards to understand it better. Principle 6, let the other person do a great deal of the talking. We have talked about this previously. Talk less, listen more, ask questions more. We as humans tend to talk more than necessary. We like to talk and talk and talk about ourselves, and we rarely listen. This is why, look at this picture. What do you think when you see this picture? This picture shows a couple who is arguing and fighting, and they probably argue about some things. Maybe they argue about the guy forget to put the toilet lid down. I know some couples who fight because the guy forgets to put the toilet thing down for his girl. That's absurd, right? Or maybe they fight because he forgets to bring something or whatever. Anything can happen here. But most of the times, we as men are just terrible listeners. And most of the times, let's say you have a couple. I'm talking to the man here. Let's say you're a man and you have a girlfriend. I don't like saying the word girlfriend because it's just very cringe. I use the word partner or lovers usually. Let's say you like the word girlfriend. Okay, we use the word girlfriend. Let's say you have a girlfriend. You're a man. You are a man. You have a girlfriend. And most of the times, your girlfriend is a feminine woman, right? I'm assuming that your girlfriend is a feminine woman. And feminine women's emotions are very fickle. They change every minute, every hour. They're very indecisive. I'm not trying to offend girls, but that's what I learned from the spiritual and the relationship books that I read. Most of the times, let's say your girlfriend is facing a problem or she's having a bad day or someone says something rude to her and she looks sad, and then your S man says, "Oh, what's up, babe? Like, you look like you have things to say. Like, what's up? Oh yeah, I'm just having a bad day. Oh yeah, you can tell me. Oh yeah, because in this afternoon my boss said this to me, and and my boss said this to me, and I get really offended, and I don't really like it." And then you men reply, "Oh, you can actually do this, or you can actually do that." "Oh, no, it's because of," and then your women replies, "Oh, no, it's because of this. Oh, because the boss is having a bad day, and he expressed his anger to me, and I got really emotional. Oh, you can actually do this, you guys." And then you do that for several times, and what happens at the end? Your girlfriend gets sick and tired of you because you don't listen to her. You keep trying to fix the problem in the moment, whereas she doesn't want you to solve the problem at that moment. She just wants you to listen. This is why most couples fight, because one of the partner doesn't listen that well. They're trying to solve the problems by giving answers, by interrupting the other person. Whereas most of the times, when your girlfriend tells you a story, she doesn't want you to talk. She doesn't want you to solve the problem. She doesn't want you to give answers. She just wants you to listen. The next time you want to talk to your partner, ask your partner. Oh no. The next time your partner wants to talk to you, ask your partner. The next time your partner wants to talk to you, ask your partner, do you want me to just listen, or do you want me to give advice? And let's say the other person thinks, "Oh, I just want you to listen." Just listen. And when you listen, you can only say these three words. What else? Go on. Tell me more. What else? Go on, tell me more. Those are the three words that you can use when your partner says, I just want you to listen. When your partner says, oh, I want you to give advice, even though your partner says, I want you to give advice, you should still listen and give advice when your partner already finished talking. This will avoid so many arguments and resentments. And this will avoid your partner from saying, just listen. You never listen. You avoid your partner from saying that. Don't interrupt when you disagree with someone. Like when you interrupt, no one will want to talk to you. When you like to interrupt, no one will want to talk to you. Let them talk and just listen. So that is 6 ways to master communication, or that's 6 ways to win people to their way of thinking. Avoid arguments. Never say you're wrong. If you're wrong, admit it. Makes sense. Don't blame other people. Look at here. Begin in a friendly way. Be a nice person. Get the other person say yes, yes immediately. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. So an actionable step that you can do is that, let's say you watch this video. Right after watching this video or tomorrow, whenever you want to argue, whenever you want to tell the other person is wrong, whenever you want to try to prove the other person is wrong, just remember this principle. Don't interrupt, don't argue. Just nod and act as if you agree with them and try to understand them. And even though I have read this book for several times, I find this principle the hardest thing to do, because I always argue with my parents because I always disagree with them. And yes, we always disagree. Why? Because we were born in different years. My family, my parents were born in the 90s. I was born in the 2000s. So of course we will disagree with so many things. And at first I was disagreeing and arguing. And after reading this book for several times, I was starting to think, oh yeah, we disagree because we were born in different years. We also disagree because they didn't have internet back then. Oh yeah, we disagree because back then, the only way to make money is to work at a shit job under a boss or open a factory. And nowadays you can make millions from social media. Of course you have so many things that you disagree. So try to understand them. The second actionable step that I want you to do, the next time you are wrong, admit it and stop blaming other people and beat yourself up. This is the only time that you can beat yourself up. And lastly, talk less. We talk more than necessary. Talk less. Shut up. Shut up. Literally, shut up. If you want people to like you more, shut up. When you shut up, you have more power. When you shut up, you avoid saying stupid things about yourself. You avoid revealing your own weaknesses and intentions. Shut up, let other people talk. When other people talk, they reveal their intentions, their weaknesses, their strategies, their insecurities that you can use against them. You can use those resources to your advantage. But if you talk, you are more likely to say something stupid, right? So I've covered my promise to you, and my promise to you is that I will teach you how to communicate with everyone. And I've covered my promise, and I hope you can communicate with different types of people after watching this video. I hope you learned something valuable, and I hope this video helps you. Subscribe right now and leave a comment to drive the algorithm, or share this video to your friends so more people can hear this message and more people can subscribe and get notified when I upload more videos like this one.